Let's begin. Today's June 16th, 2024, and we're solving the Daily Turing Machine Puzzle. Today's puzzle uses 5 criteria cards and it's 5 verification cards. Let's go to turingmachine.info for the details. So today's puzzle uses an all-even lineup of criteria cards, and they include criteria card 2, 14, 16, 18, and 20, and they all use the purple verification cards. The code above is your way to get more information on today's puzzle by going to turingmachine.info and searching using that code. Let's go solve. In our grid above, we've got our 5 criteria cards. On the top row, we've got criteria card A, criteria card B, criteria card C, and on the bottom row, we've got criteria card D and criteria card E. Criteria card A looks at the first digit, the triangle digit, and compares that value to the number 3. So should the triangle value be less than 3, equal to 3, or greater than 3? Criteria card B looks at all 3 of our digits in our solution and will let us know which one is the least of them all, the absolute least. Is it the triangle digit that's the smallest? Is it the square value that's the smallest? Or perhaps it's a circle that's the smallest. Criteria card C again looks at our 3-digit code and will let us know the even to odd ratio. So should there be more even than odds, or should there be less even than odds? Criteria card D again looks at all 3 digits, triangle, square, circle, adds them up, and the Turing machine will let us know whether the sum should be an even quantity or an odd quantity. And again, last criteria card E again looks at our 3-digit code and will let us know something about its structure, meaning it'll let us know whether there are no repetitions in the code, meaning that no digit is repeated, as in the example 125, or it could possibly be a double number where there is a single digit that's repeated, as in the example 112, or it's a triple number where it's a single digit repeated 3 times, as in the example 222. Remember, our objective today is to find this one unique 3-digit code that abides by all the criteria cards we've just discussed. And we're going to start off with our initial proposal of 314. So the first thing I want to test is I want to know how many evens or odds there may be in our solution. So I'm going to test criteria card C. Okay, so the Turing machine approves of my proposal of 314. Notice that I do have 2 odds to a single even. So in general, we know that there are more odds than even, or technically based on the card, less even than odds. So let me write that down in my notes in section C, that there are less even than odds. And what that means is that there's at least 2 odds and 1 even, as in my proposal, or indeed they could all be odd and no evens. So what we will do now is we'll test criteria card D, and I think that may help us out a little bit, maybe. So criteria card D, let's see what the result is. Okay, so in this case, the Turing machine does not approve of my proposal. Notice that if I do add up my initial proposal of 314, 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 4 is 8. I have an even quantity, an even sum, but the Turing machine does not approve that. So it's telling me that the sum should be odd. So let me go ahead and write that down in my notes, that triangle plus square plus circle, that sum should be an odd quantity. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, in this case, remember, I do have a majority of odds. So if I had 2 odds and I add them up, regardless of what their value is, that sum of those 2 odds is an even quantity. plus another even would give me an overall sum of an even. So that is now what this is telling me. This is telling me that I have an overall sum of an odd. So that means that, in fact, I have all 3 digits are odd. So all 3 digits are odd. And of course, if I add 3 odd numbers, regardless of their value, their sum is going to be an odd. So that's what I'm dealing with. So in fact then, since I'm dealing with all odds, there are no evens. So I'm going to cross out all the evens, all the 2s and all the 4s. So we're dealing with a triple odd solution. So let's see, what other card will help us? We do have this criteria card F that'll let us know if we have, they're all unique, perhaps there's a double, or maybe even a triple. Well, let me say the following. There's a reason we cannot have a triple number, and that's precisely the card above, criteria card B. Since this is telling us I have an absolute smallest, of course you can't have an absolute smallest if you have a number that repeats 3 times, right? In this example, 2 is not less than itself. So that means it cannot be a triple number, okay? But I think I will test criteria card E to figure out if they're all unique or if there is a double. So let me go ahead and test criteria card E. Okay, so it approves of my proposal. Notice that again in my initial proposal of 314, they're all distinct. Turing Machine approves of that. So that means there's no repetitions. So let me go ahead and put that in my notes in section E, no repetitions. So what that means is that they're all unique. Okay, so that means that 1, 3, and 5 are in some order. We just don't know just yet. But we are done with this current turn. And so now we're moving into the phase of trying to figure out a good second round proposal. And so basically, it's up to now criteria card A and B that those 2 cards alone should give us enough information to come up with our solution. So notice that, well, we do have criteria card A that'll let us know, essentially what the value of triangle should be. Should it be a 1, 3, or a 5? And so then criteria card B will basically give us the smallest value, and then the third one should basically be, whatever is remaining out of those odds. So this is very interesting. I now sort of kind of regret maybe not testing criteria card A in the first round. But let's see. So what could it be? Well, I don't think triangle can be 1, because it wouldn't make sense for triangle to be 1 only for criteria B to confirm that. And so that means that if it were 1, then how would I don't see any other mechanism to choose 3 or 5 for square and circle. There's just no other details for that. So for that reason, I'm going to cross out the 1. So we know triangle is not the smallest. So at least then that'll help us. Basically, it's now a 50-50 of what square or circle is being the smallest. Okay. Can triangle be the largest? Yeah, I think so. I think if triangle is 5, then we can figure out the smallest between square and circle, and then that'll be the 1, and then the other's the 3. Ooh, which brings up an interesting question. What if, yeah, and I think triangle can also be 3 because we're still going to have a smallest. So I think that's okay. Is there any other sort of deduction or Turing Machine gameplay that'll help us deduce a little bit more? Well, again, square and circle, that's going to be, 50-50. So is there a benefit for triangle to be 3 or 5? I don't think so. I think really it is 50-50. Yeah, I think we should, in fact, I think we should be able, let's see, is there a way to avoid going to a third round and picking, yeah, because I think if I pick 3 or 5 for triangle and then one of the others, I think we should be able to figure it out in those two tests. So let's see, what would be, I'm going to pick 5, 1, 3. I'm going to go for 5, 1, 3. Let's see where that takes us. Okay. Yeah, let's go for it. Okay, so let's go ahead and test criteria card A. Let's see. Okay, so yes, indeed, triangle should be greater than 3 since my 5 was approved. So let me go ahead and just jot that down in my notes. So triangle should be greater than 3. Of course, that means that it's not 3. In fact, it is 5. All right, so we've got 1 down. And so now, and so of course, all of these can't be a 5 since they're all distinct. So let's cross them all out. And so now we're going to see which is the absolute smallest. Is it the square or circle? So let's go ahead and test criteria card B. Okay, so in this case, I was incorrect. So obviously triangle isn't the smallest and neither is square. My 1 is the smallest, but the Turing Machine told me, nope, that's incorrect. So that means that indeed circle must be the smallest. So let me write that down in my notes. So circle is the smallest. So that means that square must be the 3. And of course then, since circle is the smallest, it's not 3. So that means that my solution should be 5, 3, 1. So let's type it out here. And just really quick, based on all this, yes, triangle is greater than 3. Circle is the smallest. There are more odds than evens, and in fact, they're all odd, yes. Their sum is odd, and there's no repetition. They're all unique. So that looks like a winner. So let's go to turingmachine.info to verify. So let's test the code, and it's 5, 3, 1. And let's verify. Awesome. Well, very interesting that our all our verification cards were an all even lineup, and now the solution is an all odd lineup. So very interesting for that fact. But let's also verify or find out, did we beat the Turing Machine? So let's see, it looks like we've got C, D, E, and it's yes, no, yes, yes, no. So E is our reversal. So let's go ahead and type that up. So C was correct, D wasn't, E was correct, and I already forgot, I think it was A yes and B no. Let me just double check. It doesn't really matter, but yeah, that's what it was. B was incorrect. All right, so did we beat it? Okay, not too bad. So there were 5 verification cards. It did take us 5 tests in 2 rounds. The Turing Machine took 6 tests in the same amount of rounds, but so we beat it by 1. What a fantastic solution. So obviously there may be a little bit of luck, but also I think it played out very well, testing CDE, just to kind of get, again, a good idea of what the overall solution is. So that selection kind of worked out, and then luckily criteria card A and B were the ones that kind of finessed the solution, right? It kind of gave it a little bit more of the details of what they were, but we had the overall structure from the first round. So if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and so that way other people can be made aware of this channel. And if you saw anything interesting in my delivery, please do give a comment, and I really would like to hear from anybody about any of the details. And if you don't want to miss out on any future videos, please do subscribe to be notified. Well, until the next time, have a great one.